Hello students. So today we are going to study about the stages in the life cycle of Aspergillus. Now Aspergillus, like Rhizopus, is also a fungus, ubiquitous, and it is also a saprophyte, but if it gets a host, it definitely attacks the host and becomes parasitic. So let us further see how to classify Aspergillus. Now the classification starts with the division Eumycophyta, class Ascomycetes, subclass Ascomycetae, series Pectomycetes, order Aspergillales, family Aspergillaceae, and the genus is Aspergillus. Now, if you must have seen, the class over here is different from that of Rhizopus. The class is Ascomycetes. Why it is called as Ascomycete? Because this particular fungus is known to produce something called as an asci that we will see when we'll be studying about the sexual stage of Aspergillus. On your right, you can see the the electron micrograph of this particular Aspergillus. So pretty fascinating, isn't it? This spore-like structures that you're seeing, they are called as conidia over here. We'll see what is the difference between conidia and spores later on. So let us talk about Aspergillus. This is how it looks like when it is grown in a particular petri dish. This is Aspergillus niger showing black conidia. Looking at the vegetative structure, the vegetative thallus is called as the mycelium, same as in the case of Rhizopus as well. It consists of profusely branched septate multinucleate hyaline hyphae. Now the difference is that in Rhizopus the mycelium was aseptate. So it had got cenocytic hypha. Here the hypha is septate. Hypha, they penetrate in the substratum and sometimes they may act as rhizoids as well. That is why this fungus is saprophytic, but if it gets a host, it becomes parasitic. In human beings, it is known to produce a disease called as aspergillosis, cause the disease rather. So this is Aspergillus under a microscope, under the low power, that is 10x. This is under 40 or 45x, the high power. So you can see a little globular structure at the end of this particular conidiophore. We'll just come to it. So this is again the stained structure of stained slide of Aspergillus. Now the asexual stage, it consists of the reproduction, which is done by the formation of conidia produced on conidiophore. So if you remember in Rhizopus there was a sporangiophore. Okay, the word "phore" itself means stalk. So a stalk which is bearing spores will be, or sporangia will be called as sporangiophore. A stalk which will be bearing conidia will be called as conidiophore. So on the conidiophore rather, conidia are formed. Now why there are two different names for something which is doing a similar structure, the spore and conidia? Now if you remember that inside the sporangium spores were present. Now in this case, in case of Aspergillus, if the sporangium is there and it is consisting of only one spore, then that entire sporangium it is called as conidia. So basically conidia is nothing but a sporangium which is consisting of only one spore. Okay, so that is what the difference is. That is why the two different terms we are using over here. So in case of Rhizopus, we were calling them as spores, or rather sporangiums or sporangia. Here we are calling them as conidia. Singular is conidium. So each conidiophore, it is vertically elongated, unbranched, aseptate. Now this is aseptate, okay, and multinucleate, and it is a hyaline structure. And it terminates into a vesicle. So if you look at my hand, so if you see, this is the conidiophore, and at the end of the conidiophore, there is this globular structure which is called as a vesicle. Okay, so on this vesicle you will find some bottle shaped structures. Those bottle shaped structures are called as sterigmata. Sterigmata, the new term for sterigmata is phyllites. each steric it produces conidia in basipetal succession. The conidia, they can be spherical, uninucleate, and they can be variously colored in case of Aspergillus. So this is how they look like under the microscope. Now this is not the actual color of the fungus. This is just the stain color which you are seeing on your screens. This is again a high power image of Aspergillus. You can see a little globular structure which is nothing but the vesicle over which there will be present sterigmata. So sterigmata will be present all over the vesicle. Okay, so they'll be present all over the vesicle, and over the sterigmata you will find the conidia in basipetal succession. Now your homework is that you have to find out the meaning of basipetal. There is another term which is called as acropetal. So in your comment section, you're going to write down the meaning of basipetal and acropetal. Some homework for you is also needed. So with this, we come to the end of the stages in the life cycle of Aspergillus, the asexual stage. We'll be talking about the sexual stage in the next video. So hope you enjoyed this video and gained something from it. And you can definitely comment in the comment section and you can answer my question. So some homework for you guys. Don't forget. Okay. So bye for now. Good luck. Happy studying. Bye bye.